If you find yourself asking, why am I broke all the time? You should probably also ask yourself, when was the last time I fell for a corporate gimmick aimed at getting me to buy junk I don't need? Leading up to these questions, you might feel a little confused as to why you have no money. After all, when a company spins one of these gimmicks, they say stuff like, spend more to save more. The word save is right there in the advertisement, and if you're saving money, it's only logical to conclude you'll end up with money in your pocket. These businesses act like they're doing you a favor. They've suddenly switched gears from being retailers to being financial advisors, and nothing matters more to them than making sure you get to have all the stuff you don't need, plus all the savings your bank account can hold. And then, just in case you're one of those people who doesn't understand the urgency of building up a savings, they put some time pressure on you by saying, act now, savings this good won't last long. But here's the thing. What they're really saying is, hey you, here's something expensive you didn't know you needed. For a limited time only, you can spend slightly less on it than we normally get away with overcharging people for it. We actually marked the price up so far above what we paid for it that we ran out of people willing to buy it from us at all. So in the spirit of finding a new set of victims, we're going to apply a discount that still helps us make a huge profit, but also makes people like you feel like you cheated the system we created to keep us rich and you poor. And if you can't afford what we're selling, no problem. We make it super easy for you to go into debt with a store card at 28% interest and secure your position as a poor person with a house full of rich people stuff. In fact, we'll do you one better. We'll charge you 0% interest if you pay it off within a year. And since you're paying an overinflated price that we convinced you was a great deal, we're still making a fortune, and we're doing just fine without charging you any interest. Of course, in the event that you don't pay that debt off within a year, we'll go on ahead and attach that 28% interest to the entire balance, including prorated interest for the amounts you already paid off. And honestly, we're going to put so much pressure on you to believe that these discounts only happen once in a lifetime that you'll finance so much that there's no way you'll be able to pay it off in a year. Or at least you won't be able to do that while also doing things like paying your rent or your mortgage payment, buying your groceries, or paying to get that unexpected flat tire repaired. If we do a really good job of using high pressure and dishonest sales tactics the way we plan to, you'll be trying to pay this off for the rest of your life, which is fine by us because there will be plenty of other suckers available for us to bleed dry when we repeat this exact same scam every 6 to 12 months, just like we have the entire time we've been in business. We've learned that lying works, so we do it, and we do it a lot. We also pay a fleet of marketers, psychologists, and lawyers to make sure that our lies are manipulative enough to maximize profits while also containing just the right amount of truth or subjective ambiguity to avoid litigation as false advertisement. Please understand, caring about you is not what we do. Padding our pockets while encouraging people to slide down a debt spiral they'll never escape from, that's where we shine brightest. We realize you're about to go through the most confusing emotional roller coaster you've ever been on, while also working in exhaustion in a futile attempt to get out from underneath the mountain of debt we tricked you into crushing yourself under. Just know this. We've deadened our sense of conscience to the point that we're basically just greed-stricken sociopaths, and we'll feel no guilt at all for any of the suffering you and your family are experiencing. And when we send a collections agency after you, their employees will be well versed in how to make you feel like a failure in life. They'll also emphasize your personal responsibility in this predicament, and since they work for us and not you, they'll be very careful not to mention our own personal responsibility for knowing in advance how our actions would impact your life, and yet while knowing that, we went on and did those things anyway, because as long as we stay rich, we really don't care how in debt and financially strained the average person ends up being. After all, we and our families won't have to see how horribly we've impacted you. It's the reason we fly private jets, the reason we live in gated communities with private streets, and the reason our entire lifestyle is designed to avoid interaction with the customers we take advantage of. So thanks for shopping with us. We hope to see you or another fool just like you again soon, but only in passing in the few days we actually visit our stores that are staffed by people willing to work for miserably low wages. That's a whole other story for another time though. Look here, folks, if you want to start winning in life, you need to start recognizing that a retail business's purpose is to get you to transfer your money into their owners' bank accounts. They do not exist to save you money. They exist to keep you from saving money so that their owners and investors can find ways of making your money become their money. You also need to understand that there are haves and have-nots in this life, and unless you decide to stop believing the lies businesses tell you, you will continue to not have the money you should have while helping others obtain the money they shouldn't have. There's nothing wrong with people making money, including business owners and investors, like I mentioned, but there's something very wrong with making money by encouraging the suffering of others. And that has become such a normalized practice in the business world that if you don't develop a plan of action for how and when you'll spend your money, the vultures in business will swoop down ready to take all you have. Drop a comment in the box to let me know what you'd like for me to cover in a video, and remember to like and subscribe. It won't cost you anything, but it will let YouTube's algorithms know that this content has some value and should be shown to more people. I'm Jeff, and I'll talk to you again soon right here on Dadvice by Jeff.